Good morning and welcome to Narashino in Japan, the opening fixture of IDRC 2019. It's the International Defence Rugby Competition getting us underway. The UK Armed Forces are taking on Georgia this morning. In about 25 minutes time, we'll be at kickoff. We've got a wonderful hour, 20 minutes coming up for you. We've got some interviews we're going to bring to you in a moment. We're going to obviously show you the live match, and then we're going to have some post-match analysis and some interviews with the head coach, Lee Soper, and the skipper. Hopefully, victorious interviews for what we'll be looking at. What can I tell you about today? 32 degrees here. It's another warm one. Humidity has gone up a bit from yesterday. We're in Narashino, of course, which is about 20 kilometers away from Tokyo. We're hosted brilliantly by the Japanese MOD that have brought us to this wonderful venue. Look at it. They've put on a real spectacle putting up these stands and getting us ready. So what can you expect over the next sort of 10 to 15 minutes? Well, we're going to bring you an interview right now that we pre-recorded this morning with Lee Soper. Obviously, his head is very much in the match as the head coach. He's currently in the changing rooms giving the players their last instructions and preparing them for what's about to happen this morning. We're also going to pick up an interview with the parents of Gareth Rees. They've flown all the way out here to watch him. I'm told that they're passionate fans that have been following him for years and years, passionate Welsh family, so it'd be good to talk to them. And then we're going to pick up with Artie Shaw just before we go to the national anthems. Artie's going to be giving us the lowdown on what we can expect from the Georgians, what we're going to see from the UK lads, and hopefully paint a picture for what's coming up. But now let's get you that interview. Here's Lee Soper. We spoke to him this morning. Lee Soper, head coach. 4 years ago, they asked you to take charge today. You've been waiting for a long time. How are you feeling this morning going into match?
Yeah, nice and relaxed. You know, it's been, like you say there, it's been a fair old while since Doc gave me the call and appointed me. And a lot goes through your mind in the build-up and appointing staff and then again, the challenge of picking the right players. And with the way the guys have responded, like back in Portsmouth, as you saw, and now here with the trials and challenges we've had of getting out here and with the typhoon and that and disrupting training, the boys are on fire. You know, yesterday we had the captain's run with in the really hot heat yesterday. So at the same time, purposely done it at the same time as kickoff, so the guys got used to it and they came through. They got used to it. They understood what they have to prepare for. Last night I presented the shirts to them, which was a great honour for myself. Bit of a shock. I didn't expect to be doing that, but Doc said no ifs or buts, you're doing it. And the boys are all there. They're all. I can just sense it. You know, I was a player once, and I know exactly what they're feeling. So yeah, I'm in a good place.
Is anyone carrying any knocks, injuries, or are you all set to go full complement?
No, everybody's good. You know, everybody's good. A couple of the boys who aren't involved today, Seti and Craig Dunks. I didn't pick them because they were carrying. Seti was carrying a bit of an ankle knock from previously pre-season back in UK with his club, so it's just more of a precaution to give him the extra few days to get himself 100%. And with poor Dunks, he came down with a bit of a kind of temperature and stuff like that. Wasn't feeling too good when we were training the other day. And again, you know, the strength and depth to bring Toby Evans in, a young lad at fullback to cover that. You know, it just gives Craig again those extra few days to get himself 100%. You know, it's not, for me, different climate, different food, that type of stuff. It's about keeping the guys healthy throughout the whole tournament. It's not just one game. It's a 3-week campaign, and I need all 27 of them to be 100% to get us through this challenge.
Eddie Jones said on broadcast television back in the UK that the team that wins the IRB World Cup might not be the best team, but they'll be the team that's able to react to problems thrown at them. How have you coped with the typhoon challenge that hit here a couple of days ago?
Yeah, I mean, it was the moment that KR, our liaison officer, said there's a typhoon coming in, and we were just like, oh, okay, yeah, thinking it's something like what we have back in UK with a hurricane losing its power as it crosses the Atlantic, and then we get the last bit of it there. But this was full on straight into Tokyo, and I woke up at 5 o'clock in the morning as the storm was hitting, with a big banging at my window, and I opened the curtain up, and you could have thought that the fire brigade was outside just smashing the window with a full high pressure hose. I then, whilst I was up, I thought, I'll give my son a video call back home, and I said, look at this, mate, and then showed him the camera as a massive road sign was being blown down the road. And we woke up the next morning to see the outside swimming pool of the hotel black with a huge plastic shed in it. So the only disruption that had was we couldn't get out that morning to train. So I jigged the program around, and we did some kind of classroom stuff. So the forwards and backs broke off and talked through their bits and pieces. And again, you just got to utilise. If you can't do something, you just adapt and change. And the guys, bit of experience again raised morale, because it was a bit of an exciting thing for the lads to be involved in something you see on the news around the world. To actually be in the thick of it was quite an exciting thing. And like what you put on Facebook, you guys were stuck in taxi for 7 hours, but then people lost their lives in it, and that hits the seriousness of it. We're all kind of thinking it was quite hilarious to see our vans covered in a tree, which was close to getting smashed. And there we are on Styler, P3 Orion from the Japanese Navy Air Force. But it was, little things like that kind of add to the guys gelling together. It's all the experience of being over it.
Well, they're looking good. Go well. I know there's a lot of people back home supporting you. Wish you all the best today.
Yeah, thanks, Colin.
There's a lot of pride, isn't there? Some passionate chaps this morning. A few passionate women as well within the support staff. It's an interesting one, isn't it? There's 29 of them out here, but it's not just 29 people that we're talking this morning, and they said they're representing the whole of the Ministry of Defence back home. So hopefully they do you proud this morning. And I know two people that are very proud. Mr. and Mrs. Rees, you've flown all the way out to watch your son, the scrum half, Gareth Rees. Firstly, why did you come to Japan? Because it's a long schlep to watch the rugby.
It's an opportunity to get to Japan, to see Japan, and probably wouldn't have come other than supporting our son in rugby.
Now, rumour has it, it's a wild rugby home, and you're the boss in the outfit. You made the decision to come to Japan, and you were told you're coming along for the ride.
Yeah, I just follow what the boss says, as Welsh. Don't need much of an excuse for the trip. And what an honour it is to come and watch Gareth play at this venue, like in Japan. It's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
It's quite a spectacle, isn't it? The Japanese are so hospitable. I think everyone has felt that. Tell us about Gareth. How did he and when did he get into rugby? Did he play mini rugby?
Yes, indeed. His father obviously was a rugby player in his days, and Gareth started playing, training at 6 years old with Ammanford Rugby Club, and then played junior section from 8 years on until till now.
So it's in the blood. The family's big, passionate fans. You're sporting the Welsh jersey.
Yeah.
Hopefully they go well in the coming World Cup. What do you think about the UCAF? Are they going to do us proud? Are they going to win the tournament? What do you think?
I think they got a very good chance. They just got to concentrate on the first two games in the final, and then it's bring the cup home, man. Hopefully.
How do you feel when Gareth goes down with a knock? Are you one of the mums that worry, or do you know he's just going to get back up and crack on?
No, I do worry when he goes down, and hope and cross my fingers that he does get back up again. And 9 times out of 10 he does.
Well, hopefully he goes well today. Thank you for coming out and watching the team, and thank you for chatting us this morning. Lots of proud people within UCAF, and RC, we were speaking to you yesterday, team manager, of course. Let's talk about the Georgians. They've just walked past us. You said yesterday there's a few units there, aren't they? Do we still think it's going to be a tight rugby match? They're keeping in the forwards and play it up front?
I think so. That's the first thing we need to do is neutralise them up front. You've seen the size of them. No doubt will be powerful. The scrum in particular would be a key area for us. And neutralise that. We're competitive. We're combative. You saw in the Almeida game the standard of defence that we have. So I think that'll be the first sort of 20 minutes, and then bit by bit, given the conditions, it's about using our fitness, our speed out wide, and then from minute 60, it's going to be a key aspect of the temperature, the weather, but more importantly, the substitutions. And as you've seen, our bench is really strong, so we're really confident that from minute 60 onwards, when the substitutes come onto the pitch, they'll make a difference, make an impact, and we can then take the game away from the big, powerful Georgians.
Here's hoping. Go well. Thanks for talking to us. So there we have it. Lots of proud people. All the preparation has been done. Lee Soper found out 4 years ago that he was coaching the outfit. It's been 4 years in preparation for the players. 6 weeks of intense training, all coming down today. In a matter of moments, a matter of minutes, should I say, they'll be kicking off. Kickoff here is about 11:30. Looking at it's about 15 minutes away. But in about a minute's time, we've got the national anthem. So the players will be coming out shortly. So we've heard we're expecting the Georgians to be pretty fierce up front. We know there's talent and pace wide. That does put an emphasis on the UCAF lads having to secure that quick ball. So can they get the line out functioning? Can they be strong at the scrummage and secure their own ball? And of course, in the ruck and the maul, can they attack that gain line and put the Georgians under pressure? That's what we're hoping to see. And then from the halfbacks, Gareth Rees and Dixon, there's some talent there. They've playing together quite a while. I know a couple of years ago, Dixon was the record point scorer for UCAF. Hopefully he can replicate that in IDRC 2019. So what else have we got coming up this morning as we just wait for the players? They're holding back for a minute to come out. You'll see the players enter the pitch. We'll go to we will then go to the national anthems, and then obviously we'll go to the formal kickoff. As you probably heard on the public address, coin toss earlier, Georgia have elected to kick, so the UK chaps will be receiving. I can see that the match officials are coming out for the match, so we really are just moments away from 30 men taking the field to commence their IDRC 2019 journey. Of course, as Lee Soper rightly said earlier, this isn't about a first 15. This is an entire squad. We've just heard from Artie Shaw. The UCAF boys have a strong bench. I also know a couple of chaps that, from speaking to Lee, obviously you've just seen that didn't make it. They're very much part of the squad. From day one, Lee has had the same message. It has to be an individual unit, a collective, if we're to be successful. And that's a message that's played across, not just the players and the support staff, but all the ancillary staff, even the media team that's here gathering these pictures. They're a united bunch. You've seen from pictures over the last day or so, they've come together brilliantly. Of course, to remind you, this is the UK Armed Forces, a combination of all the individual services back home. They're normally knocking lumps out of each other, aren't they? Army and Navy, that was a hell of a fixture earlier in the year. You wouldn't believe that they were opponents if you see them now. There's real togetherness, there's real spirit, there's real hunger and drive to be successful at IDRC. There's expectation on them, together with Fiji. There's been talk about them being the favourites, as it were. People predicting the final could be a Fiji and UCAF fixture. Whenever I've broached that subject with any of the coaching staff, they're adamant that there cannot be complacency. It's all about today's fixture and the focus on the next 100 minutes. So I can see the players are starting to gather. The flags are all being presented, and the dignitaries are coming out. We really are moments away from getting IDRC 2019 underway. They're all lining up behind Captain Jamie Miller. Of course, Jamie is both the UCAF captain and the current Army captain. But this team, believe it or not, they've actually got 6 individual captains. There's real leadership within this squad. And hopefully that leadership will be the directional rudder to unite the talent and the flair that this team undoubtedly possesses. We were impressed with their training run-through yesterday. The lads themselves, they thought it was actually their poorest run-through of their training sessions, a few drop balls. They're all perfectionists. Ladies and gentlemen, IDRC 2019, UK Armed Forces versus Georgia.
Players entering the pitch.
What a tremendous welcome. Of course, formal occasions such as this, I dare say there's going to be a nerve or two within the players. How quickly can they get that out of their system? How quickly can they focus on the first tackle, the first scrummage, the first press? So it goes without saying, UK Armed Forces are in the purple jerseys and shorts. Georgia dressed in the black jerseys. So there's some formal arrangements that need to be completed as part of an IDRC. And here's the national anthem of Georgia. It's always so passionate seeing players regale their national anthem. There's real pride amongst the Georgians this morning, isn't there? And rightly so.
National anthem of United Kingdom.
Well, not that there's a competition, but if there was, UCAF are 1-0 up. Let's get you the team news with UCAF's first 15. So, number 1, Gareth Smith. Number 2, Stuart Philpott. Dave Manning is the second prop. In the second rows, Scott Makepeace and Ross Parkins. And across the back row, in blind time flanker, Stuart Cross. On the open side, Rob Bell. And captain, James Miller, playing number 8. Then the halfbacks, as we've already told you, number 9, Gareth Rees. A proud family members watching on, of course. Number 10, James Dixon. And then in the centres, we've got Dan Tooth, who's likely to play an inside, I'm told, and Bradley and James operating as the outside centre. Then on the wings, Benjamin Chambers and Conor O'Reilly are offering the pace, with Toby Evans, hopefully, will be injecting some pace and those offensive strike moves playing at fullback. Of course, we've got a packed bench to around about 60 minutes. We were hearing from team manager Artie Shaw. We expect to see an injection of energy and pace. It sounds like the UK team want to be playing on the front foot. They want to put pace on the ball, but it all starts up front, doesn't it? And we know that's where the Georgians are strongest. They're formidable in the loose and in the scrummage. Remains to be seen whether they get their line out operating and whether the likes of Scott Makepeace and Ross Parkins can get up and spoil the opposition throws. But here we go, Georgians to kick off, opening fixture of the International Defence Rugby Competition 2019. The advantage to the Jordans, turnover ball. Here comes the power from the Georgians. They've secured. Oh. Continue down the blind side. They're working the narrow side. They're keeping it tight. We expected this, didn't we? We go phase 4. And they're still tight. Now they go wide. The press is on from a UCAF. There's man over here. Oh, it's a tremendous tackle by James Dixon. Can they secure the turnover ball? It looks like the Georgians have retained it. Here they go again. Oh. Is it held up? No, it's gone to ground. So strong defence by UCAF. They've managed to take the Georgians back to halfway, but here they come. The step inside. Now the contact. Secure the ball again. The Georgians are running the phases. It's a physical start by the Georgians. Again, they go short. The attempted offload. Again, UCAF are struggling to secure ball at the moment. Here's the press. A penalty. Offside. The referee's pushing them back 10. First points opportunity for Georgia. It looks like they're going to have a shot at goal. They're going to have to watch that. The referee was looking for offside. The UCAF players just encroached. Just a mild chat with skipper Jamie Miller. Brad James, Brad James having to have a shirt change. You would expect the Georgians to secure this. I mean, it's just short of the 10-metre line, but it's straight on the sticks. It's not happy with the set. So, confirmation their centre change just had a shirt change. Now playing in a blank jersey. He got under that a little bit. It wasn't the cleanest of strikes, but it's got there. It's over. And the Georgians put 3 on the scoreboard. Dixon to get us restarted. Hopefully the UCAF players can secure the ball. It's straight out, so there'll be a scrum back on the halfway. Few nerves to be expected. Opening fixture of the tournament. There's been a lot of expectation, a lot of pressure on the players, none more so than what they put themselves under, of course. But there's a more than capable team. As we said, this team, believe it or not, is flushed with 6 experienced captains, people that have led the individual services. Ben Piddy was skippering the Navy. See Jamie Miller, as we said, both UCAF and the Army current captain. Dave Manning has led the RAF. James Dixon is Army. He's obviously got experience in the Premiership playing for Harlequins, of course. Had a injury last year, I'm reliably informed. Rob Bell, he's skippered both the RAF and Rugby for Heroes. Scott Makepeace, Navy, he's the current, the big second row. Gareth pushes the ball into the corner. That's smart play. I mean, after a long period of not securing the ball, and whilst they didn't really lose territory, to secure a territory gain like that and push the Georgians back onto their own 22, that was smart play from the scrum half. And back to the skippers. Obviously Ross Parkins is the current UCAF under 23, and then so that leadership probably served the players well in the opening bit. Calm the nerves, settle people down. George with their first throw. Pressure on for UK, it's loose. Referees spotted a knock on. So from the first line out for the Georgians, we go to the first scrummage. It'll be first opportunity to look at the expected power that the Georgians possess in their 8. But of course, let's not underestimate the UCAF team. This is a formidable lineup. Ref's letting it play. The Georgians running it from their own 22. The chip over the top. It's not quite gathered by Gareth. The referee seems happy with that, but the referee's spotted a knock on from Gareth there. Yeah, UCAF supporters not entirely convinced it was a knock on, but it did look like he rolled over the ball, so strictly speaking, it looks like the referee called that one right. And Toby Evans, fullback, has dropped in to defend the kick, and Conor O'Reilly's ready to gather any kick downfield. Well, the Georgians make the bold decision to run from their own 22 again. It's worked out well for them, but that was a courageous decision so early on in the match. Referee's getting his points across. He's looking for a reset here. He's not entirely happy with the engagement. The powers come on from the UK. They push them back, but here come the Georgians. Dropped in to run it again, but that's loose. They're going backwards. It's still going. There's a question of a knock on there. The referee is letting it go. It's been secured by the Georgians again. They're running it again. The press is good from UCAF. This is impressive pressing from the UCAF team. And finally, Georgians go to the boot. Gathered by Toby Evans. First sign of Connor O'Reilly. Connor's got real pace. Takes the contact, secure the ball. He gets to ground. James Dixon opts for the switch. The crossfield kick. It's gathered. The step. Can he offload? Driven on by Jamie. Has he got the support? It's gone loose. Penalty to Georgia again. The referee spotted something he's not happy with. Well, there's flashes of brilliance from the UCAF boys there. They're impressing the Georgian possession. They've been getting up on the offensive gain line. Then when they gathered the kick, smart decision making from Dixon to switch play, put the cross-field kick pass. Penalty on 22, makes touch. Up to the 10 metre. So, a couple of penalties that have gone against UCAF. Offside's been marshalled. Referees looking at entry into the ruck and ball through the gate. They're going to have to watch for that. It's any score so far. A penalty by Georgia, leading UCAF by 3. That's well spoiled. Turnover for UCAF. Can I make it count? Gathered by Jamie Miller. Heavy contact, but they go wide. Connor gathers the ball. Not the cleanest of pass, but they've retained the ball. They go again. Reese. Oh, knock on. Knock on by the front row. Turnover ball for Georgia. The box kick hasn't. It's gathered by Georgia. Have to watch offside. Again, Georgia attack the short side. Going to be forced wide now, you would think. They're looking to keep things tight. Oh, it's turnover. Tremendous pick. Secured by Brad James, the centre. Dixon. Jamie Miller. The step. He's got the yard of space. He's gone for the kick. Can he gather it? It's too strong. It was nice thinking. He's just put too much on it. Ben was thinking that it was on from. He's just put too much shoe on it. There's flashes of real opportunity for UCAF when they put the ball wide. I mean, it was cool before the game, wasn't it? We were talking to Artie Shaw that there's pace and talent out wide. Can we secure the ball and use it? Was the message from Artie Shaw. Well, the Georgians are putting up a fight up front, aren't they? We expected a physical approach. An opportunity for the players to take on some water. It's an incredibly warm 33 degrees here. It's important that players stay hydrated. We were hearing yesterday the measures that the medical teams are taking in tracking player hydration. We know that they were weighed before the fixture. They're going to be weighed at the end of the match, and their hydration levels will be adapted accordingly. But it's important they keep taking on water. Can't quite spot who's down at the moment. It doesn't look to be anything too concerning. Quick dab of the magic sponge. He's back on his feet. So, breeze blowing across the pitch might help cool the players somewhat. So So secured by Georgia, but here comes the power from UCAF. They've turnover ball. No, the advantage was UCAF. Nothing coming. Let's scrum to the UK. Secured. Reese to Dixon. They've brought us in. There's going to go wide. They've got a man over here. Can he get the ball away? He's got a contact. Can Connor secure it? There's a question of side entry there. The referee seems happy. The ball's been secured by UCAF. Gareth Reese is asking for it. Looks like it's been secured. Can they turn this slow ball to quick ball? James Dixon's marching. There's a score there. It's gone over on the short side. They've done exactly what the Georgians have been hoping to do to UCAF, haven't they? They've kept it tight. They've got over. But 13 minutes in, UCAF strike back. Be hoping that James Dixon fly half can add the extras. 5-3 UK lead Georgia. UCAF done well to turn that early Georgian pressure round. And we knew that the Georgians would be physical up front, but you have to say it's been brilliant defence from UK Armed Forces. They've been hot on the press. They've been competitive in the loose. We're hearing it's fullback Toby Evans that secured the try for UCAF. We'll get that confirmed as soon as possible. A slight technical issue mean that we're unable to bring you replays at the moment. I hope to fix that throughout the match. It's a solid strike, straight through the middle. UK 7, Georgia 3. Well, the Georgians aren't quick to get to the restart. We're lacking a ball at the moment. You have to say, there wasn't real urgency from Georgia to get back underway. They're trying to slow things down. Maybe take a rest while it's been a ferocious start. Warm weather. Scott Makepeace unable to gather the ball there. And they go short again. It's good pressing from UCAF. Well, it's going across the pitch here. It's charged out. Turnover ball. Gareth Reese put a tremendous kick behind. The speed from Conor Riley. He's put in the wing under pressure. You have to say he's done well under pressure there. But it's loose, open play, but there's offside. The Georgians not retreating. Well, we got a glimpse of the pace that Conor O'Reilly's got. Obviously, prefer to see him with ball in hand exploiting that pace, but signs that there's an opportunity out wide. So, penalty UCAF, and James Dixon is going to hopefully add 3 points to the score. Not too dissimilar position to the Georgian penalty early on in the match. Relatively straight on. There is a bit of a breeze blowing sort of right to left for James. I'll have to factor that in. Flags go up. That reliable left boot of Dixon stretches the lead. It's UK 10, Georgia 3. The converted try will make for better scoreline reading for UCAF fans. It's another high kick. Stuart Cross gets to the ball. It's a question of offside. It goes short. Rob Bell down. Great legs by Rob Bell taking it forward. Gareth Rees Dixon. The kick. It's great recovery. Penalty. And the referee's unhappy with that. He's taken them back 10. So the Georgians are looking for the kick pass there, aren't they? It's worked so well up till now. Fine margins. If Benjamin James had gathered that, he could have been in. Referee just having a chat with the Georgians to explain what he's unhappy about and why he took them back an extra 10. He's clearly a referee that's not going to take any back chat. Opportunity for James Dixon to gain some territory. We're up to halfway. Opportunity for Stuart Philpott to get the forwards going forward again. Stuart Cross gathers the ball. Wonderful drive. Now comes the power. Drive. They go again. The offload. Can they secure it? There's great pressure from the Georgians. Quick hands from Dixon. Conor O'Reilly. He's got several to beat. Inside. Ross Parkin gathers, takes forward. Conor O'Reilly acts in scrum half. Oh, question mark on the tackle. The referee will have to have a look at that. Yeah. He's not happy. I think he gave the penalty for offside. Yeah, he has a question. Oh, referee's taken a quick tap and go. that he's run into traffic. The referee is really unhappy. He's going to be having a word here. Is he going to his pocket? Well, slow morning there from the referee. There's a flurry of penalties coming. He's calling the skipper over. I think it's just a final warning, but signs are that the referee will be hot on any infringements. Of course, there was a question mark on the tackle there. Was it parallel? Was it elevated? With the new tackle rules in play to protect against concussion and to protect players, you have to be secure in the tackle and not taking the player past parallel. There's a suspicion that he was shoulder first in the ground, but the referee let it go. It was the offside that he was unhappy with. Well, they're going to go for the corner. They want the 7 rather than the 3. The line-out's been functioning well. Stuart Philpott's been hitting his marks. Scott Makepeace and Ross Parkins, he's got 2 tremendous targets. They've gone to the back. They catch and drive. Now the power. And it's another try. Just look at the pleasure on that. Stuart Koss, fist pumping. The gamble played off, the push to the corner. They were confident of securing their line out. They've been pretty solid hitting the marks, haven't they, so far? The catch and drive. And the scoreboard keeps ticking over. This will make for great viewing for head coach Lee Sofa. So, a slightly trickier angle for James Dixon to contend with, but his penalty earlier on wasn't too far away from where he is now, and he put that straight through the middle. So he's taking his time. He's going to take his full allowance here. He's an experienced head. He won't be rushed into the kick. And the flags have gone up. Well, 25 minutes in, and it's 17-3. Well, since the Georgian penalty early on, it has been all UCAF. But they're working for it, aren't they? It's not just going all their way. They're having to compete up front. They're having to earn the ball. But you have to say, they've been quite ruthless when they're getting it. If you think about the 2 sort of kick passes that didn't quite go to hand, UCAF could be out of sight now. So water break, opportunity to hydrate the players. We've said it's very hot here in direct sunlight as well. So towels on the head to cool the players. Lots of water being taken on. But you have to say there are no signs of UCAF tiring. In fact, they're being energised by the scoreline. We know they're a fit squad. They've been working very hard on fitness. Team manager Artie Shaw was telling us before kick-off that he expects that intensity to go for the 80 minutes. The bench is strong, and he'll be injecting pace around 60 minutes, we're told. But the early signs are that the Georgians will struggle to keep up with this incredibly fit and physical UCAF team. So confirmation, Toby Evans was the first try scorer. And Rob Bell has just gone over for the second. It's the same kick. Jamie Miller gathers, takes the contact. That's a solid ball. Dixon's going to clear the lines. He's pushing the Georgians back. Gathered on the 22-metre line. He's sliced the counter kick. Well, the bounce has gone against him, but it's Gareth Rees who's gathered it. The step. He's found a gap here. He's through. The scrum half is through. Can he get the ball away? He's gathered by a couple of Georgians, but he looks to have secured the ball. The referee can see it. He's happy to let play roll. There's a potential strike move being coordinated here. Oh, loose. A couple of loose passes. Didn't quite go to hand, but there's an advantage. UCAF. The referee has spotted an infringement. Quick hands. Conor O'Reilly. The step inside. He's keeping the ball alive. That's smart play. Dave Manning joins. Carries a couple of important yards. They're going to go short again. Is this the slow ball to quick ball that worked so well earlier? It's not come quick. So they're going to go wide. Nope, the step from Dixon to secure it is straight under the sticks, but can he get the secure? There's another penalty. Referee, I think, is going to take them back for the earlier infringement, and it's offside. It looks like a yellow card here. Well, we thought it was the final warning beforehand, didn't we? The referee's been quite clear with his communication. There's 10 minutes in the bin. Well, that's going to hurt the Georgians. Down to 14. Well, the penalised player's unhappy, but you have to say, you could see it coming, couldn't you? Referee, you have to give credit where due. He's been marshalling this fixture tremendously well, consistent with his communications. So UCAF gone for the scrum. Is that a sign that they think they've got the upper hand of the Georgian pack, particularly now they're down to 14? They've brought a backing to secure the pack. Can UCAF get the go forward? We've seen some strong drives by that front eight. Reese. Toby Evans. Oh, that's a tremendous score. That's a tremendous, that's a typical scrum half score, you might say, the little pick and go. Proud parents on the touchline, I dare say. They've flown a long way to watch that one. Well, it hasn't taken long for UCAF to gain the upper hand on the sin bin. There's a discussion going on the touchline. The penalised Georgian players sort of talking to the officials. Is not happy about the sin bin. You can't imagine it would be reversed. Seems a futile discussion. Dixon's had the extras. He's pretty consistent from his position, isn't he? Well, that reliable left boot adds the extras. UK 24, Georgia 3. Well, we spoke about the leadership within this UCAF team. We spoke about the number of individual captains within this UCAF team. There is no complacency here at all. They're all marshalling each other. They're all championing instruction, making sure that they're ready for the restart. But again, the Georgians, they're not rushing to the restart. There's a player down in the corner getting some medical attention. Well, it didn't look anything serious, but there's still medical attention being received. The player's laid down now. Another opportunity for hydration. Well, we were talking to Gareth's parents before kickoff. He was part of the regional academy. He also played for his college team, Mandovery College. And as we heard, he's described as one of many household rugby fanatics. You're hearing off camera a lovely story that whenever he's playing for UCAF in Portsmouth, that his parents will jump in the car, drive down, watch Gareth play, and then drive back. There's real family commitment watching their son. Proud moment for them having seen him score. Sad a moment for the exiting player. The innocuous injury seems more than that as he's left the field. We're possibly going to see a replacement here. Well, the kickoffs are consistent. Stewart's gathered it, secured the ball well. Jamie Miller takes it forward into the contact. They secure the ball. There's suspicion of hands in from the Georgians there, but the referee's happy. Dixon pushed the ball back. Again, he's turned the Georgian winger. He's struggled, hasn't he? That's a phenomenal kick. He's pushed them back to, the Georgian 22. The Georgian winger's really struggled gathering those kicks over his head. So the UCAF pressure continues. Georgian throw on their 22. Man short, they'll be hoping to secure the ball and stem this tide of aggression from the UCAF team. So spoiled by Ross Parkin. Captain Jamie Miller was a standing scrum half, didn't get it to hand, but now they go. Brad James takes the contact. He's got support. Connor O'Reilly helping to secure the ball. Now Gareth goes. Dixon, he stayed with hands. Ross Parkin gets a valuable couple of yards, and now they go again. This is a quick ball we were hoping to see. Straight run in from Jamie Miller. Phases are building. Scott Makepeace now takes the ball on. Spoiling from the Georgians. And there's a penalty there. The referee's unhappy with the holding on. You have to say, the referee's called that one right too. He's having a good game, the referee, isn't he? So an opportunity for the Georgians to relieve some pressure, push the UCAF boys down the field. This will help eat away at the clock. So it's a Georgian throw just short of the halfway line. Georgia will be hoping that they can build from here. They've not influenced the scoreboard since their early penalty. They've not really had much purposeful entry into the UCAF half. There's a knock on there. Turnover ball from the UCAF. So Dixon's going wide. Hands, there's a man over here if they can utilise it. Brad James forced in the touch, but purposeful running, strong legs. Gareth Rees covering the quick throw. Well, again, the Georgians are running from deep. They're going backwards. We've pressure from UCAF. They see the line. They're hungry. It's another penalty. Holding on. A quick go. And the try. Well, that's tremendous decision making. That's the quick tap and go. And Rob Bell gets his second score of the match. So, arguably the easiest kick of the first half for James Dixon. He'll be confident that his left boot will add the extra 2 points as we nudge towards half time. Penalised Georgian prop is eager to get back into the action to help his team, but he's still not served his entire 10-minute sin bin. Up go the flags. And that takes the UK up to 31 points. Well, there's a real statement being made here by the UCAF team. Laying down a real marker in the tournament that they're here to win it. They believe they can win it. The coaching staff believe they have the players and the talent and the focus to win it. Well, we've been consistent with the restarts. Stewart gathers it again. Gareth Rees goes short. And again, that's secured by Dave Manning. Now to Dixon. He stays with the hands. They're going wide. They're through the hands. They had a man over. They couldn't get the ball to hands. The referee is going to bring them back for a knock on. Oh. Spilt by the Georgians. Pressure comes from UCAF. Suspicion of forward pass there. The referee lets it go. And the marker's called. And that's it. That takes us to half-time. Your half-time score, UK Armed Forces 31, Georgia 3. Well, it's been a strong first half. There was early pressure and physicality from the Georgians. They brought the fight tight and very much a forwards-orientated game. But UCAF slowly got into the game, didn't they? They had really strong defence and press. And then the second part of the first half, they've added the points. We're going to take a short break at half-time. And we'll be back to you in about 10 minutes' time with the entire second half. UK 31, Georgia 3. So they take to the field for the second half, led by Jamie Miller. The spring in the step of these UCAF players. Georgian team were out before them. They're already ready to go. Of course, a man down for a few more minutes as they complete the sin bin imposed in the first half.
Replacement for United Kingdom, number 9, IDRC. Next appeal, replaced by number 21, Roman Eddy.
So the officials look like they're just checking numbers. I don't think the Georgian player realises he hasn't completed his sin bin. So there's a change for the UCAF team. Gareth Rees has been replaced by Morgan Evans at scrum half. We'll find out after the match whether that's a tactical or an injury-forced change. So we're hearing that it's a tactical change at scrum half. I think there's real confusion here over the sin bin. It's by our reckoning, there's still a minute or two to serve. But the penalised Georgian player is currently on the field of play. And communications between the officials and Georgians don't seem to be carrying the message. Well, the referee's going to kick off. That's a surprise decision.
The second half has just started with a kick by United Kingdom.
So the UCAF will be hoping that their line out functions as well as it did in the first half. He's hit his mark. Well, here comes the power from UCAF again. They've over 15 metres, 20 metres. Now the ball goes. They're going wide. Conor O'Reilly, hands again. Here comes the pace. Brad James in at the corner. Well, that's a popular score.
It is a try by United Kingdom. 5 points were added for the try.
Well, there's a real statement of intent at the start of the second half. Well, slight injury concern for captain Jamie Miller, getting some attention. Jamie, of course, both the current UCAF skipper and the current British Army rugby skipper. He's had a strong game so far. Sofa will be hoping that this isn't anything to be too concerned about. Meanwhile, opportunity for Dixon to add the extras. Jamie Miller's back on his feet. He's perfectly fine. It's another good strike. Well, he's got his radar dialed in today, hasn't he? He's firing darts at those sticks.
United Kingdom added 2 points for the success of the converting goal. Brazil 3 points. United Kingdom 38 points.
So UCAF up to 38 points. Georgia still only got that penalty to show for their endeavour. Looking towards the clock, we are expecting replacements in the second half. Well, that's gathered well. They've secured the ball. It's a real rhythm coming into this UCAF play. They're going wide now. Brad James steps inside. Now he's on the gas. The offload. Oh, it's not quite there. Fine margins. It was a lovely step inside. Then he got on the pace. Just couldn't quite find the offload. But they're hungry. Well, the Georgian skipper is trying to get his troops moving, trying to get them believing they can get back into this. Well, there's a debate around the line-out. Georgian prop trying to gain a couple of yards. The UCAF team not having any of it. The referee sorts it out again. To the back they go. Well, Jamie Miller's gathered that. He's straight running. Oh, he's beat 1, 2, 3. The offload. Inside again. Oh, well, Rob Bell gathered it. It's been gathered. Well, it looked like Rob Bell was going to secure his hat trick, but the ball didn't go to hand.
5 points were added for the try.
But it's been gathered. And Dan Tooth is gathered and gone over. Well, Lee Soper will have wanted the scoreboard to keep ticking over. He'll be delighted with the speed at which it's ticking over at the moment. Well, the Georgian player exiting the field, and he's decided he wants to be sub. He's clearly struggling with fatigue, and that's a measure of success for this UCAF team. We know their fitness, it's been well spoken about. They're keeping the intensity and the pace of play up. And we heard before the match that we expected a flurry of points from 60 points onwards, but they've come far earlier than that. Dixon with the simple conversion. That's UK 45, Georgia 3. Well, they've got 50 points in their sight. That would be a real statement of intent in this opening fixture of IDRC 2019. A lot of the other teams will be looking at this. They'll be intrigued by this UCAF performance. And of course, the UCAF team is still gelling. They're still coming together as one. So you would think, as they move through the tournament, they're only going to improve. Well, Georgian substitutions. There's a bit of confusion as to who's going off. I don't think the Georgian players realise that a player's exited already. But the referee and the linesman have completed the count. They've realised there was 15 on. They're going to make another sub now. And we've got 30 players on the pitch, so we should be able to resume again. So a restart by the Georgian outside half, consistent with his restarts. Deep, gathered again by Stuart. That's good ball. It's slow ball, but it's secured. Well, the referee's unhappy with what he's seen there. It's another penalty. It looks like he's signalling for offside again. And of course, I had a symbol in the first half for repetitive offside infringement. An opportunity for Dixon to gain some territory. And given how Stuart Philpott's been functioning at the line out, hitting his mark, there'd be confidence of securing this. So we're up to the 10-metre line of the Georgian half. Now we saw UCAF running strike moves in training back in Portsmouth at their training camp, and they were running them off the 10-metre line. Maybe an opportunity for the backs to put one of their moves together. Well, the line out once again. He's hit his mark. Secure ball. Now comes the drive. Up over 5 metres. 10 metres. Referee's got to look for offside here. He's not come through the gate by the looks of it. The referee's seen it. He's given the advantage. It's free play. It's a free play. The cross-field kick. Well, that's secured by UCAF. Now, spilt on the floor. I don't think the referee's seen it though. Now comes the forward. Dave Manning. Stuart across, Dixon across. He's had to go backwards, but it's retained. Now come the hands. And Conor O'Reilly goes over in the corner for his first try. He's been threatening that, hasn't he? He's got genuine pace.
It is a try by United Kingdom. 5 points were added for the try.
And we've got some substitutions for the UCAF team. We've entire front row change coming on. Now this was expected. Lee Soper, head coach, is keen for everyone to get into the tournament, keen for everyone to feel part of IDRC. But Conor O'Reilly's trying the corner, has taken UCAF up to 50 points. Possibly Dixon's toughest kick of the afternoon, but it's on the right side for his left boot. There's a couple of injury concerns. It looks like Captain Jamie Miller's coming off, replaced by Ed Pascoe. So there'll be a captain change here. And Scott Makepeace will skipper the team now. Well, we've spoken about the leadership within this team, haven't we? They're blessed with experienced captains. So whilst losing Jamie is a slight blow from a leadership perspective, they certainly won't be any worse off. And with 50 points on the board, it's wise not to take any risks with the players. So, finally, Dixon's missed one. He's been prolific this afternoon, hasn't he? He's been his radar on point, but that's his first one. So, change of hookers for UCAF. Ben Priddy comes in. He'll be hoping that he can get that line out functioning as well as Stuart Philpott had it going. And Ben Priddy, of course, he's a Truro lad playing rugby since the age of 10. He was part of the victorious 2010 inter-service team, where I'm told he scored a hat-trick of tries in the 2014 Army v Navy match. Now, a hat-trick of tries for a hooker, there can't be many that have achieved that. Right. UCAF are blessed with real depth of talent. Replacement front row, an incredibly talented bunch in their own right. They've all featured for the former Combined Services, what's now UK Armed Forces Rugby. Experienced heads. But the replacements are needed to keep this energy up. We heard before the match, didn't we? Intensity was key. But they've lost that one. The strike. Oh, but there's turnover. Georgian spilled it in the tackle. Referee's seen it. Secure possession coming from UCAF. And Dixon takes them wide. They're strong in the tackle. They're strong in the tackle. Linesman's put his flag up. But there's strong runners in this UCAF back line. They've all got a belief that they can get across that white chalk. So The ball's been secured. It was a convincing line out by UCAF at that point, but now we go. They've gone short. It's a good offload. Step inside. The ball's been turned over. Opportunity for Georgia to clear their lines. Well, he's opted to run from his own try line. We've seen them running from their 22, but running from his own try area. It's a bold play, but it's paid off. They've secured the ball, or have they? There's counter knocking from UCAF here. Well, that's a less than convincing kick, but it just about makes the 22. There's real line speed from this UCAF press. They're not allowing the Georgians a moment's respite. That's great, go forward ball. It's been secured, now they go wide. So it's a loose pass. And the step inside, the dive for the line. Benjamin Chambers gets over.
It is a try by United Kingdom. 5 points were added for the try.
Well, Ben Chambers has been threatening, hasn't he? He came close in the first half to gather in the kick pass that Dixon put across to him. But he's finally got across that. Finally got across that white line. There's applause coming from his fellow players. That's a popular scorer. Well, we're up to 55 points. Opportunity for Dixon to add another 2 points to his name. Well, the wind's kicked up a notch here. That's going to make it slightly trickier, though it's blowing from behind the ball flight path to the post. It might help him a little. It will certainly help cool the players on this incredibly hot day. Well, it's a good strike. Up go the flags. 2 more points for Dixon and UCAF. It's UK 57, Georgia 3. It's a real statement of intent, this.
United Kingdom added 2 points for the success of the quarter goal. Georgia 3 points. United Kingdom 57 points. United Kingdom is leading.
Well, again, he sticks with the same restart. You would have thought he'd have mixed things up. And again, the same outcome, gathered by UCAF. Great go forward, but he's lost by Stuart crossing the tackle. Now an opportunity for Georgia to get on the front foot. Have they got accuracy in the pass? Well, gathered by UCAF. Oh, they're very flat, the Georgians. They go short. There's not a lot of pace coming onto the ball when they get the opportunity, and they're only going forward by a yard or 2 at a time. Again, they're sort of being marshalled across the pitch by UCAF. The chip over the top. Gathered by Dixon, calls the mark. Clever play. Well, the UK defence has been consistent all afternoon, hasn't it? Obviously, the kick couldn't go straight to touch, being a free kick. But the kick chase is good for UCAF. Gathered by Brad James. Now comes the possession. They go short again. Rob Bell is having a tremendous afternoon. Already got 2 scores to his name. Hungry for more. Now there's a man over here if they can get the ball to hand. Brad James inside. The offload's good. Then Pretty, the hooker. He's found Ben Chambers, the step. And now comes the support. They're a yard short. The pick and go. As he grounded. Well, his hands there from Georgia. Penalty given by the referee. Well, that's all got a little ugly here. The passions are running high. There's an injury concern. Well, these are ugly scenes. This isn't what we want to be seeing at IDRC 2019. Well, there's concern for a couple of players that took 3 or 4 punches to a head. Well, the referee has got to take control of this. He penalised UCAF for holding on. We don't quite know what sparked it, but well, the referee wants a discussion here. He's got some decisions to make. There's a bit of concern from the coaching staff here. Some instructions coming from the touchline. Some focus for the UCAF players. They don't want to get embroiled in this. They've had a convincing afternoon. They've influenced the scoreboard tremendously well. It's 57 points to 3. Well, it's times like this where the leadership we've spoken about within this UCAF team will come together. Well, an opportunity for the captains to have a word with their players. So, change again. Gareth Rees re-enters the field as a replacement. Looks like there's a possible injury. Well, we go back to the penalty that was awarded to Georgia for UCAF holding on. That's quite a lengthy stop in play. The referee showed strong leadership in the first half. He's going to need to show equally strong leadership for the remaining 20 minutes. So Morgan Evans, the scrum half that came on at half time, he's the player that's injured in the corner. He's been replaced by Gareth Rees coming back on. The injured player, I think we've probably got pictures to refer back to. There was clear punches off the field of play, off the ball, and the players now had to leave. Head coach Lee Soper is far from happy here. Well, discussions through a translator to make sure the message is clear to the referee. Lee Soper's making his point. He's unhappy with the punches that happened off the field of play to his player that's now forced him off. I don't think the referee saw it, so I'm not sure he can act on it. Well, it appears the penalty stands. It does indeed. Georgia. It's a throw into Georgia on their own 22-metre line. Well, the line-out's won by UCAF. Gareth Rees, he feeds forwards. Ben Priddy steps inside, spins, gaining important yards. Gareth Rees goes wide. They've gone hands. Well, Dixon was in at second receiver there to try and feed the winger, but a foot in touch. Heath coming on for cross. I think that's the last of the bench for UCAF. They're making sure everyone gets into the game. Oh, my mistake. There's still a couple of players on the bench that could come on. So Nathan Huntley has taken over at fly half and Dixon has dropped back to full back. A straight running from Ben James and he's in. That's tremendous. That's a straight line. Steps inside of three defenders. Reach for the line. That's going to take UCAF over 60 points. So 62-3 UK lead. We had to 2, 64-3. Well, the message is clear from the UCAF bench. Smart decision making, stay cool, don't get embroiled in any of the nasty stuff. It's been a tremendous afternoon so far. The citation rules in rugby are pretty clear, and you would expect retrospective action is probably coming for some of the Georgian players. Well, there seems to be a debate over the substitutions that have taken place. The Georgians are unhappy, it would seem, with Gareth Rees re-entering the field, but of course there's a forced change due to the injury imposed by those rather ugly scenes. I mean, from the commentary position, we clearly saw the UCAF scrum half on the receiving end of 3 punches to the head. But the debate continues. So, understand what's taken place. So, UCAF had to make an enforced change through injury, and Gareth Rees returned to the pitch. And the Georgians reintroduced a player who was substituted, but it's not injury enforced, it was tactical. And the rules are clear in rugby. You can only introduce players through injury enforced changes, not through tactical. But the referees got to the bottom of it, it would seem. Now we get underway. Well, it's like a penalty to UCAF. Dixon goes to the touchline. We're up to midway between Georgia's 10 metre and 22 metre line. Well, UCAF have been playing at a ferocious pace. They probably enjoyed the respite, but they need to get focused again. It's another great line out to let go. They go wide. Pace from the centre, straight running. Ball secured. They go wide again. There's a man over here. Oh, they couldn't get the pass to hands. Over goes Ben Chambers. Gareth feeds his front row, and they go on. But there's a knock on there, and that's going to be a scrum to Georgia.
イギリスチームによるノックオンです。It is knock on by United Kingdom.
Well, it's all become a bit stop-start. I'm going to reset. There's a suspicion of losing a bind and collapsing there. But we go again. Georgia put in. You would expect them to run this. They've been quite consistent with running from deep. And the front row's gone down again. Referee's unhappy. Penalty. Opportunity for Georgia to gain some precious yards. Well, it's very stop-start. Lots of discussions taking place between both benches and the referee. Georgians obviously feeling aggrieved that they're not able to reintroduce their player when UCAF have done so. And again, it was injury forced, wasn't it? It wasn't tactical. And the argument is that Georgians are making a tactical change, not an injury enforced change. So the tap and go. UCAF looking to put the ball wide now. Lovely hands, straight running, the offload. It's fine margins, isn't it? Just not quite going to hand. That's great counter rucking from UCAF, driving the Georgian forwards back. The press is on. The set, the press. No, we saw in the first half, UCAF are very good at this. Georgia up to halfway. It's gathered. It's going to be returned. Well, that's tremendous running and support play. And Ben Chambers gets across the line again. There's real pace in this UCAF back line. We've been saying it for a few days now. And when they get a yard of space, they can punish teams. So, opportunity for Dixon to take us through 70 points. Oh, he's just pulled it slightly. So we stay at 69 points to 3. The try scorers this afternoon are spread. Oh, it's wonderful to see so many players getting across the white line. Well, it's collected again, secured by UCAF. Right. The power comes. The driving this afternoon has been wonderful. But the pass isn't quite where you want it, not quite reaching the basket, but go forward again. The kick chase is good. The bounce has gone against the jaw. Oh, knock on. The referee pulling back for a scrum. It'll be Georgia putting Rob Bell at flanker. He's had a wonderful, wonderful game. I mean, he scored 2, but in the loose, he's been gathering so much and turned it into go forward for UK. Well, that's a strong drive by the Georgians, but it looks like it's been secured by UK. They go down the short side, the kick and chase. That's the hooker, believe it or not, doing the kick and chase. We couldn't quite gather the fullback. This is wonderful counter running by the Georgian fullback. Now they go, but that's a terrible pass, putting his players under pressure. Opportunity for that UK press to exert pressure once more. Ferocious tackle. The referee's given advantage to Georgia. There's a penalty there. If no advantage comes for the Georgians. Well, the Georgians are still going short. They've still got an advantage. Yeah, no advantage coming, so there's a penalty. A quick tap and go by the Georgian fly half. Well, got plenty of players to get through. He needs support from his teammates here. It's not coming. He's laying over the ball. The referee's happy with it. There's an argument for holding on there. Not given. And pretty with a turnover again, but the referee has spotted something. I think he's going to be having a word with the linesman here. It's a knock-on scrum to UK. I thought the linesman had a message for the referee, but apparently not. Well, the UCAF team have been consistent with their press all afternoon. They've been organised, their line speed's been good, they've pressured the ball, and they've been forcing errors all afternoon. When you consider it's 36 degrees right now, and 80% humidity, this is a brilliant effort by the entire UCAF squad. And again, heard before kick-off, didn't we, talking to Lee Soper, this is a squad game. This isn't the first 15. Every member of the squad is needed if UCAF are to be successful, and we've seen that today. Gareth goes. There's two dummy runs. Nathan Huntley through. Ravi gets the pass, the step inside. Has he got the strength? Can he reach a line? I think he's a yard short, but here comes the support, the drive over the top. The Georgians think they've held it up. The drive's come in. The referee spotted something. He's given a penalty to UCAF. He's penalised. And Georgia, is that offside or going over the top? Yeah, he's penalised Georgia for going over the top and killing the ball. So you would think it would be a tap and go from here, wouldn't it? Oh, it is. Dixon, the tap, the kick pass. Oh, but it's not gathered. I think it was spilled. Yeah, it's a knock-on in the try zone. And that's full time. So a victorious UK Armed Forces team. They run out winners 69 points to 3. If we'd been offered that score before kick-off, the team would have taken it. It's a real statement of intent by the UCAF squad and the UCAF coaches. They've been talking about coming here and competing and winning the trophy, and they're off to the perfect start. So we believe there is a potential team photo that's taking place, but I don't know whether events recently has... I don't know whether what's happened before is going to impede that, but this is good to see. Both sets of players shaking hands. This is good to see. So after the flare-up, there's real respect. The values and spirit which are renowned in rugby, they stay strong. And again, going back to when we interviewed the squad captain, Jamie Miller, back in Portsmouth at the training camp, he made the salient point that there's a real correlation in values between rugby and armed forces, and it's great to see the spirit at the end of the fixture. UK 69, Georgia 3, a victorious start. Hope to get you some player interviews. We'll certainly want to grab an interview with Jamie Miller, skipper, and we're going to try and grab a soundbite with head coach Lee Soper. So the traditional tunnel, and it's great to see the Georgians honouring the UK victorious players by clapping them off. These are the scenes we want to see in rugby fixtures. These are the scenes synonymous with the great sport. We're going to try and grab an interview. Some red faces, some tired boys. They've got the towels on their head. They're actually ice towels to instantly cool the players and help to get their body temperatures down. Then they'll be hydrating, focusing on that. And the honour of extended by the Georgian to the UCAF team is replicated. Real respect at the end of the match. That's what we want to see. So there'll be a combined team photo, and then hopefully we'll be able to bring you some interviews. See if we can grab where we go. Gareth, you got 2 minutes for us. We're live, so watch your language. Yeah, your mum and dad have got to be proud seeing you get over the scoreline there. It's got to be a proud moment for them, hasn't it?
Yeah, I presume so. They've come a long way to see me play rugby, so hopefully they enjoyed that try.
It looked like it was a tough opening 20 minutes, really physical from the Georgians. You got into it, and then you really competed up front and got that quick ball. As the game went on, you seemed to find momentum, and it really gathered going into the second half. How was it for the boys controlling that in the opening 20?
Yeah, it was tough. Like they said, half-time, the first 7 minutes of that 10 minutes of the start, we defended for 7 minutes flat out, and to be fair, we've only trained a handful of times, and that's our first game as you've got together, so the defence took control of itself, and the attack at the end there where they tied out, it was just running in tries, so it was good.
How did you cope with the heat? There's obviously, I mean, we know it's 36 degrees right now, 80% humidity. We can see the sweat pouring off of you. How are you coping with the hydration and the heat this afternoon?
To be fair, I found it really hard there. Our first game was a lot of running back forwards and line. The heat is clean off, and just trying to squirt water on these cold flannels every 5 minutes when you get a break. But we coped it quite well. Just moving on to the next game, so it should be good.
Well, look, congratulations. Well done on the victory.
Cheers.
I'm going to try and grab a soundbite with both Jamie Miller and Lee Soper. We've got a photo that the dignitaries wanted to take place. I don't know whether that's going to go ahead. I know there's a few debates taking place right now with the coaching team of UK. I believe they're actually going to be looking to cite a few of the Georgian players, and some of those discussions are happening right now. Lee Soper, can we get a quick chat with you?
Yes, definitely.
I mean, those 69 points to 3. You've got to be happy with that as a start in the opening fixture.
Yeah. I mean, the score's great. It was just the way the boys got that score. You know, they were, you know, first one of the goals I said for the first 10 minutes was to get into the game. You know, control the contact and get the defence established. And you know, we had the knock on immediately from the kickoff, and then for the first 7 minutes, we were defending, and the boys just, you know, they gave the penalty for the kick, fair enough, but we never let the Georgians make any yards. I mean, maybe 5-6 yards, but it was just across the pitch, left and right. But you know, once they got that going, and then when we eventually got possession, you know, we showed what we can do, and the boys just got more and more confident with it. You know, seeing as we haven't had a game together at all, and that's the first one. Great start.
Strong leadership needed there for the final 20 minutes after the flash points. You're blessed with so many captains within your team. Does that help you calm heads and refocus players?
Yeah. I mean, before we got out here, I called a number of players who have been previous skippers of their single service, and a couple who've been captain the UCAF before, and them on leaders to help Jamie out. You know, any top level team always has a leadership group through it, and you cannot quash experienced players like Stu Philpott, Ben Priddy. You know, even the current skippers Dave Manning and Scott Makepeace, the guys who have captained their single service as well as Jamie. So there's a strong, although there's not many caps within UCAF caps from the boys, there's a wealth of experience and leadership throughout the team, and even the young lads. They've shown immense leadership themselves.
We saw a number of tactical substitutions. We saw some injury-enforced substitutions. Are there any injuries to be concerned about?
Yeah, I'm really concerned about Morgan Evans, scrum half. You know, when he's attacked off the play, you know, I'm really not happy with that, and I'll be looking at the video and that and seeing where we can go with that. You know, when we get awarded a penalty, and Scott, who was standing skipper whilst Jamie was off, trying to get the ball off them, and then all of a sudden they start swinging at him, and all hell breaks loose in the corner. And then you saw yourself, this guy's coming around to grab people like Evo, and just punching him out and out. You know, back home, and we can talk more much. We're in a different country, but I know that I would be really pushing strong disciplinary stuff, not even in the rugby world with behaviour like that from the Georgians. And it was a shame, because I thought the Georgians were giving it plenty of energy. They were really getting stuck into it, and they never let off, and they were hard physical all the way to the end. And a moment of stupidity from one of their players just unleashed all of them, and it just ruined the game, I think, for everybody, you know, and it just led to a lot of bitter taste in everybody's mouths. And I am not happy that, you know, I've got a 27-man squad. I'm trying to preserve them for the whole tournament, and I've got idiots running around like that, you know. So yeah, I'll have a look at the video tonight, and thought I was going to have a nice casual, nice cup of tea and chill out, but no, I've got work now looking at the video.
It's obviously been very hot today, 36 degrees, 80% humidity. I mean, from a hydration perspective, what happens now for the players to actually prepare their recovery and get them ready for the next fixture?
So whilst the boys have been chilling out at things, myself and my TSG have had numerous meetings, and we plan for this. So we break it down to 2 days at a time, and for this we've got all this planned. The boys are now sat down in the shade, ice on their heads, taking in the fluids now for the next 20 minutes. Then they'll just be getting some food on board. Matt will then take them through a bit of a stretch and recovery, ice baths and stuff like that. After we've had the reception here, then it's back to the hotel, a stretch and recovery session with Matt and Stacey and Ellen and Al, the med team. They'll screen them, make sure that pick up any knocks and stuff like that. And then observe the guys over the next 24 hours. Tomorrow we'll have another stretch session, more screening, and then an analysis in the afternoon of the match and how we performed. And, you know, just keep an eye on the boys for the next 28, 36 hours.
Who really impressed you today? I mean, who was the standout performers in your eyes?
All of them. You know, that you know, for a team who just comes together like that, when it's, you know, all the dramas we've had getting here, and then it wasn't drama, just normal travel with a long flight, and typhoon disrupting our preparation. Every single one of them were outstanding in my eyes. I left the man of the match decision to the boss man in the white uniform. You know, he's the guest of us, so he can make the decision. And but no, they were all, every single one of them, they were outstanding, really. And I like that because now it gives me a bit of a headache on selection for the semi-final.
Well, congratulations, wonderful victory. Enjoy the post-match celebrations and good luck in your next match.
Yeah, thank you, mate. Thank you very much.
Cheers, Lee. Thank you. So there we have it. It's been a wonderful and a successful opening fixture for UK Armed Forces. I don't think anyone would have hoped for this scoreline in the weeks running up to it. It's been a hard-fought game this afternoon. They've run out deserved victors. They're hopefully what will turn out to be a successful IDRC campaign. It's off and running. We will know. We'll try and get you some information on those injuries over the next sort of few hours, and we'll get some posts put up on social to update you. But for now, Fujitsu Gain Line bringing you this wonderful fixture in this resplendent location amongst fantastic hosts. The Japanese are genuinely a wonderful people that they can't do enough to help you, and it's been a real honour and a privilege being out here to actually witness it and see it all. But from Narashino, Japan, UCAF have run out victors. Thanks for watching.